Welcome, everybody. This is the Keyline Pickers,
And we're the flip-flop flippers.
and here we are, our first ever, what is this called? An eBay show? Podcast? YouTube show?
You can call it what you want, but we're here to give you all the tips and tricks you'll need to make some extra cash.
So many times in our lives we've said, thank God for eBay and everything that it has provided for us.
Absolutely.
And we thought it would be sort of great to pass on this knowledge. We do not do eBay full time, do we?
No, but it's not a full-time venture for us. We actually have full-time jobs. We're both teachers, and that pays for our insurance and benefits and our retirement at some point. Plus, we still really love teaching, but we also really love money. And money and teaching is not typically synonymous, is it?
No, it definitely isn't. So we wanted to sort of start a podcast or a web show or whatever we call it that is going to talk about eBay because honestly, we've been doing it since 2012. Should I go into the origin story?
Sure.
The origin story of eBay for us is the year was 2012. Everyone thought that the world was going to end because it was the end of the Mayan calendar. Remember that?
No,
And it
I
didn't.
don't remember that.
It didn't end.
I remember the financial crisis.
The financial crisis started in 2008, and we are the Keyline Pickers, and this is Flip Flop Flippers, and we live in the Florida Keys. So we're both teachers in the Florida Keys, and during that time period, there was a lot of problems with the real estate market and the money, and our pay was getting cut. We were having furlough days. The governor of Florida started to take 3% of our salary to our retirement,
Right.
is what it is.
And when you're both teachers, it's 3% and 3%. Plus, we talk about this. Everything else is crashing, and we live in one of the most expensive parts of the United States. It is paradise, but you pay to live in paradise.
And we just had our third kid.
We did.
So money was not, what's the word I'm looking for? Money was not really around.
No, it wasn't.
There wasn't. So
Scarce.
it was tough, and running out of money before you got paid and stuff. Well, we never really did that, but like a couple $100s until you get paid.
We just had to be really careful with our money. And I know there are people who live a lot, they're not as well off as we are. And, we should be very thankful, and we are. And we're grateful for all we have. But the idea of like running out of money or going to the store and thinking, can I afford this? Or not being able to do something with our kids, or let them do a sport, or let them be in an activity, or get them all the accoutrements they might need for that activity, that really made me panicky. And
Well, don't forget the credit card debt.
we had some credit card debt, and we really wanted to.
One credit card. It's not like Caleb Hammer, not like those people.
No, we're not those people. But
No.
we really wanted to do well, and a lot of our friends are teachers, and they all had side gigs. They were all really talented at things. Some of them could build things. That's not us.
Musician.
Yeah, we have a very good friend, a musician, and he would play side gigs, and he'd be bringing in the money. And some would have jobs, but we have 3 kids, so what are we supposed to do? We can't, schedule around our kids really very well. We both actually have second jobs, so eBay is our third job.
So then it was like, I could remember going through Google and being like, what could I do to make more money? What could I do to do this? What could I do to do that? And YouTube and everything else. Yeah, they had YouTube in 2012. So
No ChatGPT though.
they really, no ChatGPT. And I got into the whole thing of early like eBay people and going to yard sales and thrift stores. And one of the best piece of advice we ever got or I ever saw was just sell the stuff around your house. And we live in the Florida Keys, and we've had boats in the past. I don't think we did not have a boat then, but
We had a baby, and you don't take.
Yeah.
I mean, some people have the kind of boats that you can take a baby on.
We never had
but
those boats.
The kind of boat we had, you don't take a baby on.
So I had a new spear gun that Tracy got me for my birthday, and we weren't going to use it anytime soon. So they said, put stuff on eBay you have around the house that you don't use. So I put the spear gun up. Long story short, it sold for $135.
You still remember the number?
Yeah, it was and then 2012, that was a lot. I was like, wow, that's a lot of money.
Nice.
I remember shipping it. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to ship it. And I didn't know what to do. And I went to the UPS store, and then I think they charged me $55 to box it. So
Which this will come up later on. Hopefully we have more of these shows. And we'll talk about pitfalls and things to avoid and how we learned the hard way. Hopefully you won't have to pay the same prices that we did. That was one instance of learning the hard way.
Yeah, but regardless, money was had. Everyone was happy. And then we both went around looking around the house. What can we sell next? And
I found some Fiesta dishes that didn't
Yeah.
have their matches anymore because our other kids had broken them. That was pretty good. We found some collectibles. What did you find? Some
well,
clothes.
that's the whole thing, but that's really the origin. That's how we started doing eBay. And we can go in later about how we scaled up over the years and all that, but that was really the thing that got us started, and it was love at first sight, really, between us and eBay.
Absolutely. And just finding those things around the house, you start to clear them out. Your house doesn't look like an episode of Hoarders. You're getting money, your bank account's looking good, you're feeling good. It gives you a little dopamine rush, and it's win-win all the way around.
The craziest thing about it is that there's so many people, everybody's always like, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough money. There's so many things that you can sell that you have at your house right now. Most people have a drawer of old phones, sell them. Everybody has that one pair of shoes that you bought and they just don't fit. They don't fit right.
They were fancy and they just look stupid, or you're too flashy for you, or what. You know.
They sit in your closet.
You look at them, you open the closet, there they are, and you think, not
Nope.
today.
List them, sell them, $25.
You'll never miss them.
You'll never
You'll love
miss
the money.
them. And what this podcast is going to be is sort of take you through eBay, how to sort of navigate it without getting overwhelmed. And at first it seems like it's a lot, but we can help you through it and talk about all sorts of different things. Like, what do we have planned for this podcast web show? Keyline pickers, flip-flop flippers.
There's our ice maker, which we actually got at a garage sale. I mean, this is completely off topic.
It is, but
but
once you get into this lifestyle, and one of the things that we use is we've gone to storage auctions, yard sales, thrift stores, all of those things. Obviously you're going to find things to sell on eBay, but then you're going to find things to use for your house.
it makes nugget ice.
Yeah, it's so fantastic.
If you know, like
If you know, you know.
it's that good stuff.
But what else do we have going on in this show?
I hope that we stick with this and we bring you some future things. Like we've been doing this for close to 15 years now, and we have some items. I believe the correct term is long tail. I like to call them a duster because you have to pick it up and dust it off every now and then. But we want to talk to you about when one of those sells. You almost give up on it. You're somewhere else. Are you thinking about a long tail item, a duster?
Don't know, is this a good sell? Like, we're going to tell you, like, we've had something for 5 years and it hasn't sold and now it finally sold, yes?
Yes, because I think that really just goes to show that if you look it up and do your research, and we'll show you how to do that, we'll talk to you through that and give you some of our tips that we've learned. But if you do your research and you know it sells, it will sell. Sometimes it takes longer. Now, other eBay people will tell you there are rules, and you have to stick to these certain rules, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. And even though we're teachers, we don't really believe in those rules as a hard, fast, set thing. You have to do what's right for you. You can't listen to someone who's just trying to sell you their program. You can't listen to someone who does it one specific way, because every little spot in the United States, every little person, everybody has a different background. Everybody has different issues going on. You have to stick with what works for you. So we'll show you some of those things that have worked for us, some things we've seen that work for other people, bring you some of our finally it sold things, maybe some, I like to call them unsung heroes, some fodder you might find at yard sales.
Maybe some action.
Or thrift stores where other people overlook it. Some
How
action.
about some action shots from Florida Keys yard sales and Florida Keys thrift stores?
Sure, we'll take... yeah.
Don't get me started.
No, that'll be another episode. But we'll take you to some Florida Keys yard sales. We'll show you what it's like to thrift in paradise. And, we do have a lot of constraints because of where we live, but it's also wonderful. So we want to bring you things like that. Hope you get some tips that help you come through this process financially better off and enjoying your life a little bit more.
Because it truly made a difference in our lives, to be honest with you. I mean, being two teachers, we bought a house in 2000. It was the cheapest house on the market. It was the most we could afford. And through eBay, we were able to put an above ground pool in that house. We were able to do an addition. We were able to do a deck around the above ground pool. We were able to do a lot of things, and we eventually bought a different house.
We were able to flip that house, and we just put in
a pool.
And they had to dig it out. It's an in-ground pool.
Yep. So we went from above ground pool to in-ground pool.
The pool that eBay bought.
Never, ever, ever. We wouldn't have the house that we have now if it wasn't for eBay.
Nope.
It has been a great thing, and we just want to help other people
with realistic advice. It doesn't happen overnight.
No.
You're not going to buy a package and open it up and go, oh my God. If there was a thing like that, nobody would share it.
But you know what
that's
was
not
great?
what's going to work.
You
What's
know-
going to work is what works for you, and being consistent, following through, learning along the way, and then taking good advice when you hear it, and
But-
leaving the bad advice behind.
But you know, after a couple months of consistently listing and starting your eBay, you're going to have that little bump in your income, and you're going to go, wow, we have money for this, we have money for that. And hopefully it inspires you to work harder.
Stop thinking about the money all the time,
Yeah.
and start thinking about growing and maybe branching out into other things as well.
So there's a lot of people that influenced us on I hate the term eBay journey. Maybe we should never use that term.
What are we going to call it?
eBay Odyssey, is that better?
That's enough. Okay.
So, but there have been a lot of like, you know, YouTube people that influenced us over the years, and I sort of always want to give back, and I'm always harassing people like in real life. Hey, let me tell you about eBay. Want to learn? I could help you with eBay, and nobody ever wants me to help them with eBay. So I think we might have a way here to help people, because if you're clicking on this video, you're interested in selling on eBay.
Sure, and we are legit. We're not just making this up. I think we just hit 32,000 items that we've sold on eBay. You know, it's. I'll show you some numbers next time.
We must be super rich. We've sold 32,000 individual items.
Some amazing items and some just ordinary, boring items. You know, but we'll show you some good stuff and some treasures and some exciting Florida Keys finds, and then some mundane stuff you pick up along the way. But we want you to have a great time doing what we do. We do love it. It's a treasure hunt. It's exciting, and it brings us money. So without further ado, hopefully we can wrap this episode up, bring you some more, get some stuff listed, hit some auctions.
Should we have a tagline on the way out?
I've got no tagline. Maybe we'll come up with one.
We're going to figure that out along the way. And that's an important eBay lesson, is just learning as you go and scale as you go.
Figure it out as you go. You can do it. Everybody else did it. Why not you?
Well, maybe with YouTube it goes back to fake it till you make it.
But we didn't fake it. We've already made it.
Well, we just faked an episode.
We did, sort of.
Sort
I haven't
of.
edited it yet.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Oh, I think you're supposed to say this at the beginning. Like and subscribe.
Sure.
Maybe put a comment in.
I mean, this is our first video, so.
The correct clickbait thing is like, put a comment in from where you're from, or do you sell on eBay?
Yeah, because they want the metrics. They want people to
Yeah.
engage.
So guys, go ahead and engage.
Sure,
and,
engage.
And we know that this is going to be a process, so we're ready to start it.
We'll figure it out as we go with this as well. All right, till next time.